And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We have a great show for you today, as always. Takes by Fans is live daily, folks, noon Eastern. And if you want to watch live, you can head over to twitch.tv/takesbyfans or go to our official website, takesbyfans.com/watch. Check out our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans, if you want to watch. We upload the shows daily there. And then if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps. Spotify's the big one. Y'all know my lawyers are involved over at Apple Podcast trying to get that contract situation worked out, so that is on the way, folks. All right, today is Monday, so that means we have to recap all of the games that happened yesterday, the 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, that freaking Sunday night's game, which, I mean, I was completely wrong about. I'll admit it right off the rip. We liked the Bears plus 9.5. I thought that Mitch Trubisky would finally step up and be the starter that he's claiming he can be, and you know why? I don't even know. I really don't know what the heck is going on with the quarterbacks there. Nick Foles can't get it done, and that's something that we kind of knew already. And we knew Mitch Trubisky, hasn't done anything great himself, but we thought, him getting benched and watching for the past 7 weeks and learning more in depth of their offense, and he still can't get it done. I mean, you got to move off of both of them. So Packers just absolutely blew out the Bears last night. Chiefs really kind of blew out the Bucks. I mean, yeah, Tom Brady put up 14 points in the fourth quarter. Are we supposed to be impressed by that? The Colts lost, so finally we can take them off of the top 10. I mean, I didn't even want to put them in the top 10 last week, but we kind of had to because they were 7-3, so we kind of had to do it. I didn't want to, so we can finally take them out of the top 10. And once again, we're kind of right about Buffalo. I mean, yeah, they pulled it off, but Jesus, how many more chances do the Chargers need? We're going to get into all that when we break down the games by game. Yeah, so let's jump right into it. We'll cover all the games today, and then we'll do our moneymaker for tonight's game as well. But first, let's jump into some stories. We only have really one to talk about. There's really nothing to talk about besides the game. So we'll get the story right out of the way, and it's going to be Bears coach Matt Nagy. He's, quote, not worried about his job after 5th loss in a row, and that's something, yeah, I kind of agree with. I mean, I don't think it's Matt Nagy's fault. Now, it could be, but I'm not putting the blame on Matt Nagy just quite yet. I'm still placing them on the quarterbacks. I mean, folks, they're not putting up any points. They don't have the best weapons, but they have decent weapons. You have Jimmy Graham as your tight end. That's like a game manager quarterback's dream, to have a great catching tight end, good safety blanket, and they still can't put up points. So I don't know what the heck is going on with them. So yeah, I'm kind of on par with Matt Nagy. I don't think it's him. It's definitely Nick Foles. He can't get it done. Mitch Trubisky can't get it done. I think Matt Nagy's like, yeah, there's nothing I can do this season. We're just kind of trying to establish a winning kind of culture and mentality. I'm going to shore up the defense as much as I can. I'm going to shore up all the other offensive pieces as much as I can, so next year we can draft a quarterback or get one in free agency, one that we actually know works this time. We can't take another miss here. Matt Nagy can't take another miss, so They have to kind of get a proven quarterback for next year, maybe draft one this year and develop him good so he doesn't turn out like another Mitch Trubisky. But they have to do something at quarterback because they're just not getting it done. And then we also have some quotes here. These are by Andrew Siciliano about what Matt Nagy was, I believe, is saying right now after the loss from last night. So these are some quotes from Matt Nagy. These just were posted 10 minutes ago, right before we went live. We were able to get them for the show, but here we are. Matt Nagy is talking of personal pride. That's in quotes. He also says, I hope none of us slept last night. Yeah, I mean, folks, they got blown out. I mean, if you didn't watch the game, you're kind of lucky. This game was not 41-25. This was not even that close. Chicago puts up 15 points in the fourth quarter. Take all those points away, it's 41-10. Non-competitive, just down big. I mean, look at this, 20-3 at one point, 27-3. 34-10, 41-10, and that's really the final. I don't care about what you did in the fourth quarter. Congratulations. You went on 5-minute drives at the end of games when the defense is just giving you all that. So you dink and dunk your way when the defense was allowing you to dink and dunk your way for a touchdown, because the defense of Green Bay is just trying to leave healthy. They're trying to leave on time, maybe get out a little earlier than what they were scheduled to. So yes, they're just trying to get the game over with. We don't care what they did in the fourth quarter. This was an utter blowout from start to finish. This offense is so incompetent, and we're gonna try and give Matt Nagy the benefit of the doubt here, but this is it. This is his last season of getting the benefit of the doubt. It really needs to start changing next year. He needs to go and pick the quarterback himself, because this is his team. This is his job on the line next year, so he's got to go and find the right piece next year. Also, some more quotes here. If you really care and you understand what we put out last night, then you'll fix it. Another good quote. Just because, it was truly awful to watch that performance, especially with Mitch Trubisky. This man will never get another contract in the league, and it is a little unfortunate. I want to see players get paid and be good and have long, successful careers in the league, but Mitch Trubisky, this was your one kind of last effort. You're already on your last year of your contract. You're not even that good for a backup quarterback contract now. I wouldn't sign you if I was a head coach and I needed kind of a quarterback or backup quarterback. I'm not looking at Mitch Trubisky. If you're not working with this talent, it's not like he has scrubs on the squad. Allen Robinson, Cordell Patterson, Jimmy Graham. They've got decent running backs. Folks, it's not like he's playing with scrubs. Yes, he's not playing with Tom Brady's weapons, but these are still serviceable weapons that he can definitely put up more than 10 points in basically a game. Come on. Nick Foles could barely put up 20 points a game when he was starter. So it's not just Mitch Trubisky. It is Nick Foles as well. It's just unfortunate. They're both not good. All right, Matt Nagy, we've got a couple more quotes here. Have some personal pride. Have a freaking sense of urgency. Truly. How much urgent could it have been last night? Primetime game, Mitch Trubisky back in the starting lineup. Y'all just dropped 4 straight games. Weren't they 5-2 at one point? 5-1? Another 5-6. Dropped another divisional game against Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers came out after the game and he's like, yeah, I love facing Chicago. That was an actual quote by Aaron Rodgers. I forgot the statistic, but I think he's 25-5 against the Bears. He owns this series, so I kind of agree with Matt Nagy 100% here. Where the heck is this urgency? Have a freaking sense of urgency. Another quote. Yesterday was flat out embarrassing. I was embarrassed, man. I'm ashamed of myself. I'm ashamed by Takes by Fans because we kind of endorsed Mitch Trubisky. So yes, I kind of feel Matt Nagy's frustration here. Have a sense of urgency. Have some pride, Bears players. Jesus. You're making me look bad, and we can't be having that. Come on. And then the last quote, and then we'll move on. If you fight, if you care, if your DNA allows you to get pissed off, ... The quote didn't finish, but I don't know where he was going with that one. But either way, Matt Nagy, he's kind of sick of it. He knows that, his job is kind of on the line. He still needs to put a good product together. You still have to coach up your backup quarterbacks. You still have to get everybody in the right mindset to really go play football. And, he's kind of getting everybody there. But, yeah, the defense was bad last night by the Bears, but you can kind of blame that on, the ineptitude of this offense. I'm telling y'all, if you're a defensive player and you're making stops, which they really didn't right from the rip, so I'm not putting all the blame on Mitch Trubisky. This defense of the Bears really cannot stop anything all game. But being a defensive player, if you're just doing such a great job on defense, stopping, holding teams to field goals, getting good field position for your offense, and then your offense does not take advantage, it's such a momentum killer, spirit killer. You don't even want to buy into the team now because you're like, it doesn't even matter. Yeah, we can hold them to under 15 points, but we're not going to put up 15 points. So why are we playing? I can understand that attitude from the defense because this defense was carrying this team in every single one of their 5 wins. Remember week 1 against Detroit, they had to come back in the fourth quarter and score 2 touchdowns. Week 3, when Mitch Trubisky got benched for throwing that interception in the third quarter, Nick Foles came in and threw another interception in the fourth quarter. And they were still down, I think, either 1 or 2 possessions in the fourth quarter. They had to come back. The defense was able to get stops. The defense held the team to have manageable points to be put up by the offense. So, I don't know, man. Bears, they're just done this season. 100% done. They won't make the playoffs. They won't do anything else for the rest of the season. They are 100% done. Mitch Trubisky, this was his time, folks. You had 7 weeks to kind of just take a step back, take everything in, get better on yourself, work on yourself, and he didn't do that. So, unfortunate. All right, so that was Mitch Trubisky and Matt Nagy's quotes, and Matt Nagy's not going to be fired. I don't think that's even an option because of if the quarterbacks were playing decent, then I would say yes, we can maybe look at Matt Nagy, but I think we give this man 1 more year. All right, so with that being said, let's just jump right into all these games. We've got a lot of good games to cover, so without further ado, let's get right into it. We'll start here with Falcons and Raiders. And another team that really just kind of got blown out, right? That we were just talking about the Bears. This is pretty fitting. So the Raiders really struggled heavily here, and now we have to start asking ourselves, in this Raiders team, are they pretenders or contenders? Their offensive performance last night was not good. I mean, this Falcons offense was good last night, and I wouldn't expect that. They had no Julio Jones. They had no Todd Gurley, and this offense put up 43 points when they put up 9 points last week. This is what I'm saying about this Falcons team, man. They have a good offense, and this team should be good. It's just they don't show up to play every week. But, this is the Falcons team that you can get when Matt Ryan is playing on a good level. We'll start here with him. Matt Ryan, 22 of 39 for only 185 yards. So this man wasn't doing anything. They got a lot of turnovers defensively, short fields, and they cash in. So Matt Ryan, 22 of 39, 185 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did throw a pick. Let's see when this pick came by Matt Ryan. It did come in the first quarter, and they were driving a little bit in Las Vegas's 43-yard line, and then the Raiders, they take advantage of the interception and cash in 3 points, make it a 3-6 game, kind of competitive. Matt Ryan cleans it up for the rest of the game, though, thank God. I said Todd Gurley was out, so it's Ito Smith as the leading rusher, 12 carries for 65 yards, not bad. They also split carries with Brian Hill. He had 13 carries for 55 yards. So running back by committee got you over the 100-yard mark. That's what you want to see. Both average 4 or 5 yards a carry. This was a very solid running attack by Atlanta. You love to see it. Matt Ryan only had 185 passing yards, so nothing too crazy. Calvin Ridley, no surprise that he is the leading wide receiver without Julio Jones. This man's a great wide receiver, great number 2, really can be a number 1 when he steps up. And I mean, Calvin Ridley, can we talk about what a great season he's having when he has to compete against catches and touches with Julio Jones, and then he always really takes advantage when Julio Jones is not playing, when he's kind of injured and doesn't go. Calvin Ridley really steps up, so I'm a big fan of Calvin Ridley for Atlanta. So he was the leading receiver, 6 catches, 50 yards, and the touchdown. We got Hayden Hurst, second leading receiver for 48 yards. Russell Gage, third leading wide receiver for 34 yards. So this Atlanta offense didn't really have to carry the squad. It was really their defense and Derek Carr turning the ball over. We see Derek Carr here, 22 of 34 for 215 yards, no touchdowns, the interception. And then just look at this, 3 fumbles. How do you fumble 3 times, Derek Carr? What the heck is that? Let's count all these turnovers. The first one came in the first quarter. Atlanta takes advantage and cashes in a field goal. The next fumble comes in the second quarter, and once again, Atlanta cashes in only for a field goal, though. So this is kind of what we get from Atlanta. I think we really have to start jumping off of this Atlanta's offense. It's not as good as it was kind of in the first half of the season. Yes, they were missing pieces this week, but they weren't missing pieces, last week, and they didn't put up a lot of points either. So I think we really have to start tempering down my expectations and our expectations of this Atlanta offense week in and week out, because they're just cashing in on, field goals off these turnovers. You got to score, you got to score at least some touchdowns, right? We just looked at 2 turnovers by the Raiders and both field goals. Let's see if that changes and they can finally cash in with a touchdown. So the interception comes in the third quarter, and it was a pick 6, so very well done for Atlanta, cashing in a touchdown, but they have to do it on the defensive side of the ball. The third fumble comes in the third quarter, and once again, settling for a field goal. Not the greatest. And then finally, here we go, fourth quarter fumble, and then they finally cashed in for a touchdown. They only had to go 35 yards, so they had really good field position there, and they cashed in, so well done. But yeah, this Raiders team, every time they were just looking to score, they would turn the ball over. Let's look at where these fumbles occurred. The first one occurred on their own 26-yard line, so that one wasn't a drive. They were nowhere near scoring territory. The second one comes from... They were on Atlanta's 30. So that's at least a decent field goal attempt. That's within 50 yards. That should have been automatic. You could count that for at least probably 3 points if they don't turn the ball over, possibly 7. This interception came at their own 15-yard line, so nothing good there. The fumble came on their own 10-yard line, so these were just beginning of drive turnovers. Not great. Their third fumble came on their own 44-yard line. And that's it. So, yeah, they weren't even driving on those turnovers. Just beginning of drive mistakes, not good. So, can't really count on Derek Carr in this Raiders offense. I thought this may have been maybe like a dark horse. I mean, they played the Chiefs very well, but that's really all they can kind of do. They got blown out by the Bucs. They got blown out by the Falcons last week. They played the Chiefs last week and lost, but it was close. So we were giving them the benefit of the doubt this week, but they did not take advantage of that. So I think we have to kind of bail on this Raiders team and kind of bail on this Falcons offense. I don't know. All right, so let's move on. That was Raiders, Falcons. I think I'm off on Raiders and Falcons. Not great. Alrighty, here we go. Chargers and Bills, and oh my goodness, how much more do the Chargers need to close out a good win? This is what I'm saying, folks. Anthony Lynn, he may be a good guy, but he's not a good head coach. He may be a good coordinator, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, special teams coach. He may be something like that, but this man cannot lead men to win games and kind of to close out games. Folks, when we get into this drive chart, it is going to be very comical because old vintage Josh Allen showed up, and this old vintage Chargers team showed up. They just could not take advantage. I mean, we'll start with the stats, and you know what? Let's start with the stats first, and then we'll get into the drive chart. So Josh Allen, 18 of 24. Just trying not to have this man too much, and he still makes the critical mistakes. Not great. When Baker Mayfield throws 24 times, he doesn't throw the pick. When Kirk Cousins throws the ball only 24 times, he doesn't throw the pick either. Josh Allen here, the more the merrier, or the less the merrier, really. 24 attempts and the pick, and I think he fumbled. But here we go. 18 of 24 for only 157 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Nothing great. The running game, Devin Singletary had a fantastic game. 11 carries for 82 yards. Love to see it. And then you get Zach Moss, 9 carries for 59 yards. So they kind of did it running back by committee, and it worked very well, like 140 yards rushing between 2 running backs. That's very good. Here we go. The leading receivers, Gabriel Davis, 79 yards and a touchdown. And look at this, Stephon Diggs, 7 receptions for 39 yards. They were playing ultimate dink and dunk with this man, and it never panned out. So this Buffalo offense took a little bit of a step back this week. They were looking fine kind of in the first half, but then this fourth quarter came, and we'll get into it right now. So we'll just set up the scene. Chargers are down 24-14, really kind of heading into the fourth quarter. The Bills fumble the ball. Look at this. Devin Singletary gets tackled and he fumbles the ball, so not good on him. He fumbles, but the Chargers, they take advantage. They cash in a field goal. They make it a 1-score game, and then look at this, another fumble on their next possession by the Bills. What happens here? Josh Allen, he's got the butterfingers. We know this about Josh Allen. This is why we're a little hesitant on putting them in the top 10, even though they're 8-3. Josh Allen is turning the ball over in the fourth quarter. Never good. Fumbles and interceptions. The fumbles is kind of the one I'm more concerned with. The interception he has seemed to clean up, not this game, but the fumbles, it really seemed like he has been cleaning up. I don't think he fumbled since like week 3 or week 4, which was his last fumble. So I thought he really cleaned it up, and he still has. And so this is something we definitely have to keep in mind. And then just look at this. They have to punt the ball. The Chargers can't take advantage of the second fumble. This is coaching, man. You have a chance to go win the game on the road in the fourth quarter with your rookie quarterback, and you always blame, the other team or the refs on these close losses. Oh, it was just a bad call. Oh, the team got away with one here or there. This is your chance to go improve yourself as a top tier team. I mean, we hear all the excuses, Chargers fans, Chargers coaches, Chargers players. I mean, they're all, in the same mindset of, we're actually a good team. We're just losing the close games. Yeah, you're losing the close games because you're not good. You can't close out games. So they can't take advantage of the second fumble. They have to punt. They go 3 and out and lose 2 yards. How do you lose 2 yards? Folks, just not taking advantage. So they have to punt it away. And oh man, Josh Allen says, I'll give y'all one more chance to beat me. Because what does this man do? He takes the punt. eats up like 2 minutes on the clock, and then throws an interception. And now the Chargers have one final chance with so much time left on the clock. 6 minutes. You're on your own 44-yard line. Fantastic starting field position. And what do? 4 yards. They go 4 yards. So on 2 takeaways, they combined for 2 yards on 6 plays. Is that good to y'all? Because that's not good to me. So I'm 100. I was never on the Chargers. I think they're a trash organization. I've been calling for the firing of Anthony Lynn. This is unacceptable. This is truly unacceptable. When you're down 2 scores, and you get 3 turnovers on 3 consecutive drives, and you cash in only 3 points on that, did y'all not want to win the game? Because that's what it looked like. You were given free gifts on the road by Josh Allen, the starting quarterback of the Buffalo Bills, and they can't even cash in. I mean, this is truly just pathetic. Truly pathetic. And then the Bills go and score a field goal to make it a 10-point game. Again, 2 possessions, and now there's 3 minutes left, and now the Chargers want to go on a 13-play, 97-yard drive that, ends in nothing because they try to go for the touchdown as time expires, and it doesn't work. So they can't even do that right. So I don't know. This Chargers team is just really trash. Josh Allen proved that he was the unclutchest quarterback yesterday. Oh, my goodness. All right, let's look at the Chargers and Justin Herbert. 31 of 52, 316 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. And once again, we have to, hear about Justin Herbert being the best rookie quarterback in the NFL. And this man's going to have a great future and blah-diddy, blah-diddy, blah-diddy. They're 3-8 this season, I'll tell you that. And they don't have a promising future if they are going to continue with this coaching staff, because we've seen what this coaching staff has done for the last 3 seasons. It's 3-8. It's not taking advantage of turnovers in the fourth quarter. It's losing close games. And if that's what Justin Herbert wants to be, I mean, that's fine with me. I don't care. If he doesn't want to be the one that, wins you the game, if Justin Herbert's so good and he can't even get more than 6 yards on 3 straight turnovers, I cannot believe it. It's just truly trash, folks. I don't know. Yes, they put up, the stats. That's fine and good. But when you're not winning the games, that's really all I care about. I don't care if my quarterback is playing like garbage, as long as we're getting wins somehow. That's kind of what Bears fans were thinking, right? Yeah, we're 5-1, but hey, we're just winning somehow, right? It doesn't last forever, folks. You need decent quarterback play. You also need good coaching staffs. And this Chargers team doesn't have both of them. As the quarterback, doesn't have the coaching staff, unfortunate. So that's Bills Chargers, folks. Bills should have lost. They really should have lost. And the Chargers are losing again. It's just, there's no hope for this Chargers team. They were gifted a win. And didn't take it. All right, let's move on because I'm getting heated. Talking about the Chargers, folks. It's not good. Anthony Lynn has to go. That's all there is to it. He's got to go. All right, here we go. Let's move on to Giants and Bengals in the worst news I've heard all week. Daniel Jones goes down. I think, in the third quarter. Can I pinpoint when he went down? Oh, my goodness. Right here. We clicked on it. 6:08 in the third quarter. He went down with a hamstring injury, leg injury. Doesn't appear to be too serious. Maybe out probably at least 1 week, maybe 2-3, but it doesn't seem too serious. So we hope Daniel Jones gets back out because this man was playing pretty good football like he always does. It's just pretty good. 16 of 27, 213 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. But look at this touchdown drive on their first drive. Very well done. That's what we see from the Giants. Good game plans going into the games. Great play calling. That's what you like to see. The game did stall a little bit. I mean, they did kind of go 3 and out or just kind of a couple of punts here. Punt. Then they fumbled the ball. Who fumbled the ball? Let's see who fumbled for the Giants here. Daniel Jones pass to Von Bell. That's good. Or no, to Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram fumbles? Oh, never good. He's the one that scored their touchdown, I think, their only touchdown. No, Daniel Jones didn't even throw it. So Wayne Gallman was the only one that scored a touchdown. But we digress a little bit. Yeah, Daniel Jones goes out midway third quarter, and then Colt McCoy steps in, and he doesn't play bad, just plays game manager at quarterback, and that's exactly what you want when you're switching from starter to second-string quarterback. That's what you want. Just be the game manager. Let's get out of here with a win, and we'll move on next week. And that's what Colt McCoy did. 6 of 10 for 31 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Just played game manager. So after Daniel Jones goes out, they do still cash in on a field goal. So that's, Colt McCoy slowly leading them, just being the game manager that he is, leads them down to a field goal. Actually, 2 field goals. They get into field goal position twice. One time was off of a fumble, though. This Bengals team did fumble a couple of times this game. So Wayne Gallman, we'll keep it here with the Giants. Wayne Gallman, the running back for the Giants here, 24 carries, 94 yards, and a touchdown. So when your starting quarterback goes down, you start to run the ball a lot more, and that's what we saw from Wayne Gallman. And this Giants team was running it throughout the entire game. That's kind of, they're not relying on Daniel Jones to go out and win them the game. They do know that they need a healthy mix of running and passing. Alrighty, leading receivers for the Giants. No surprise that Evan Ingram is the leading receiver. That's who Daniel Jones loves. Evan Ingram is one of the better, probably one of the best. I'd put him in maybe top 3 of catching wide receivers. Very good. He does a great job. So he had 6 receptions for 129 yards. Sterling Shepard, second leading receiver, 7 catches for 64 yards. Golden Tate, third leading receiver with 4 catches for 36 yards. So, getting it to his tight end and his actual wide receivers, I can, I like the healthy mix, especially with Daniel Jones. He's not kind of a proven, great quarterback who should be throwing to his wide receivers, all the time, like Tom Brady should be, but they don't, and they lose the games. I don't know what you want from me. All right. All right, let's go to the Bengals now because we don't have Joe Burrow. We have Brandon Allen, and let's see how this man did. 17 of 29 for only 136 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 17 completions, 136 yards. The dink and dunk, folks. Dink and dunk. So he doesn't air it out like Joe Burrow does. Unfortunate, but that's kind of what we assumed was going to happen. Let's see where this interception came from. Oh, look at this third quarter interception, and that sets up, the field goal drive by the Giants. So well done. They take advantage, of the turnover, puts up 3 points in a 19-17 game. Those 3 points, that really cost them the game. You can trace the win back to that interception if you want, because that 3 points given up by that. So, Brandon Allen didn't play well, outplay Joe Burrow. I mean, I don't think anybody expected him to outplay Joe Burrow. I didn't expect anybody to really think that Brandon Allen was really going to be the savior of this Bengals offense and go and put up 40 points. I mean, they struggle to score consistently with Joe Burrow. They struggle to score here with Brandon Allen. It's not just the quarterback. They need better pieces offensively as well. So that's Giants Bengals. We're hoping a speedy recovery on Daniel Jones. We'll also take a look at Colt McCoy on Wednesday in our film study, see how he's looking, because I think he is going to play this week at least one game. Daniel Jones is probably going to be out at least one game. He went out in this game, tried to come back in the next series, threw one pass, and then had to get out again. So I think he will definitely be out 1 week, but I don't think this is a long-term, season-ending, multiple week. I would assume 1 week. 2 weeks is probably pushing it, but definitely 1 week. So Colt McCoy, we're going to see if he's going to be able to step up in this kind of position. So we'll probably take a look at him on Wednesday in our film study, all of his attempts and passes, see how they looked. Alrighty, here we go. Let's move on in Titans and Colts. And yes, folks, we knew this about the Colts. They're fake. They're a fake 7-4. We don't care about their defense. Can we stop on this Colts defense? The only true, really good defenses are Dolphins defense, Steelers defense, and Rams defense. But they got exposed a little bit yesterday because, Nick Mullins was able to put up 24 points on them. We'll get there when we get there. But I'm sick of this Colts defense being in the top conversations. They gave up 28 points in the first half last week against the Packers. They gave up 35 points in the first half this week. Can we stop it that this Colts defense is good? Yes, you can say the Titans didn't score in the second half, but they didn't need to. Their defense was keeping the Colts in check. So I'm over this Colts team. I was never on them. I reluctantly put them at number 9. You can go back. We didn't even want to, but we had to. They were 7-3. We had to respect them a little bit. But yeah, Phillip Rivers, he doesn't play his best, and this Tennessee Titans team is really, really good, folks. Also, we loved the Titans +3. That was one of our locks this week, and it hit. So bingo, bango, good for us. But here we go. Let's get into the stats now. Ryan Tannehill, 13 of 22 for 221 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. That's what Ryan Tannehill does, folks. Game manager. But we're gonna let the running do the talking, and the running talked all game long, and it was truly fantastic to watch. Derrick Henry, 27 carries for 178 yards and 3 touchdowns. All those yards and touchdowns really came in the first half. I mean, when you're up that big, when you score 35 points in the first half, of course you're going to clam up on offense in the second half and just kind of trust your defense. They were up 35-14 going into halftime. So yes, you're going to come out and not be as aggressive, not put up as many points. You're just trying to get out there healthy with the win. When you exceed your game plan expectations, that's all you're looking for at that point. Let's get out of here with the win, and that's what they did. So I'm not penalizing this Titans team for only putting up 10 points in the second half. I honestly think they didn't need to put up any points. They didn't need to. So Ryan Tannehill does his thing. A.J. Brown does his thing. Leading receiver, 4 receptions for 98 yards and a touchdown. Corey Davis, 3 receptions for 70 yards. The run opens up the deep play passes. I mean, look at this. Ryan Tannehill to A.J. Brown for 69 yards and a touchdown. I mean, folks, they were running the ball. That's what happens. That's why this team works so good, because you have to respect the run and the pass. They're as equally as good. Maybe you put the running game is better than the passing game. I would maybe agree with that a little bit. But yeah, Titans just absolutely blew it out right from the rip. Look at this, touchdown. They both scored 2 touchdowns on their first 2 possessions. And then, the Colts can't do anything, and the Titans still continue to do what they do. 3 straight touchdown drives while the Colts couldn't do anything. I mean, look at these drives in the second quarter. 3 and out, punt by the Colts, 8-play touchdown drive by the Titans. 4 plays, half the punt by the Colts, 9 plays, 81 yards for a touchdown by the Titans. 3 and out for the Colts leads to a 5-play, 44-yard drive by the Titans. I mean, they just cannot be stopped really in the first half at all. And then in the second half, yes, they didn't really score, but they didn't need to, folks. They didn't need to. All right, let's look at Phillip Rivers now. Let's see what he did. 24 of 42, 295 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the pick. Let's see when this pick came in the third quarter, and they were able to get a field goal out of it. Just kind of lazy Phillip Rivers. Shall we look at this? Is this a lazy Phillip Rivers interception that we always talk about here? Let's find out. They're getting destroyed 35-14. Phillip Rivers, can you lead his team back? He takes a wild deep shot that gets nowhere. This is cover 2, double covered. This man's got a man on him and safety help over the top, and Phillip Rivers just tries to do too much, kind of like, I don't care if this is caught or not. I'm throwing this ball regardless. We're taking the shot. We're down big. Phillip Rivers, I mean, this had no chance of being caught at all. Not good. Phillip Rivers being trash. We know this, folks. He's not good. Everything else on this Colts team is good. Phillip Rivers is not good. Unfortunate. So they will be out of the top 10 tomorrow. I'll tell you all right now. I've been eager to get them out of the top 10, and this is exactly what we knew. We knew that they weren't going to win 3 good games, Titans or Packers and then Titans again. We knew that wasn't going to happen. We know that the Colts team are frauds. They showed it here. They can't. I mean, this Titans team is good, but this Colts team is still frauds, folks. Let's see the running game. I mean, the running game for the Colts couldn't really do anything because when you get down big, you have to stop running the ball, and that's what they did. We get Nyheim Hines here, 10 carries for only 29 yards, and Jordan Wilkins, 6 carries for only 22 yards. So not a lot of rushes and not a lot of yards. That's to be expected. T.Y. Hilton, 4 receptions, 81 yards, and a touchdown. Nyheim Hines, I mean, he's a great catcher of the football out of the backfield, truly, as a running back. He had 8 carries for 66 yards. Trey Burton, 3 receptions, 42 yards, and a touchdown. Unfortunately, the Colts just couldn't get it done. And this Titans team, man, I'm really eager to put them at the best team in the league, folks. They are really good on how they win the games and how they put up so many points and they put up 45 points running the ball most of the time. That's really unheard of. I mean, you expect running the ball, shorter games, less points, but the Titans do the opposite here. They're like, run the ball and we're going to score. And basically every time we have a running play, we're going to score the ball. So, I mean, this Titans team, man, I love them. I love it. If they didn't have 3 losses, if they had like 1 loss, 2 losses, I think I'd put them at number 1. But we got to respect the 10-0. I mean, to lose no games. And, I mean, this Titans team has faced better competition than the Steelers have overall. But Steelers won the head-to-head matchup. I don't know. Just very good team. This is a great Tennessee Titans team. This is a Super Bowl contender, folks. Don't play yourself. This Titans team is a true Super Bowl contender. Titans, Chiefs, and Steelers are really the only Super Bowl contenders I really see coming out of the AFC, folks. Truly, it's that tight. Those three teams are all very, very good. That's Titans Colts. Colts absolutely trash, but we knew this, and we're vindicated this week. It feels so good to be vindicated, to come out here every single day and talk and, have some, different takes, and we're vindicated at the end of the day. This Colts team is trash, folks, and we're vindicated. They're getting off the top 10. It's going to be a celebratory day here tomorrow, so don't miss don't miss that. Colts off the top 10 tomorrow. Love it. All right, let's move on. In Browns and Jags, and oh my goodness, did the Jags just need a good quarterback to be good? Was that it? It was Mike Glennon, the end-all, be-all of the Jags. It was this close, folks. It was this close to being that. So the Browns get the win 27-25. Let's start here with with Baker Mayfield in the Browns. 19 of 29, 252 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Decent game. He missed a lot. He missed a wide open receiver one time. We may look at that, or we could look at it now if we can find it quick. But he's still not the best quarterback. We know this. He didn't turn the ball over, which is very good. That's commendable, especially throwing 29 times. That's kind of a lot for him. 24 is probably his good mark. Anything over 24, he's gonna maybe start throwing the interception. So got to watch out for that. Once again, the running attack for the Cleveland Browns is the star of the show. Nick Chubb, 19 carries for 144 yards and a touchdown. Kareem Hunt, 10 carries for 62 yards. Running back by committee for 200 yards. You love to see it. They have it on point here. They have it on point. Jarvis Landry was the leading receiver. No shock there. He's now their best wide receiver now that OBJ is no longer there, or he's still there. He's just injured, unfortunate. But he had 8 receptions for 143 yards and a touchdown. The next leading wide receiver for the Browns was Nick Chubb, the running back, for 3 catches for 32 yards. So they were just targeting Jarvis Landry over and 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 over again. And it worked. 143 yards. Absolutely, it worked. So yes, go to that all day. And they just narrowly squeak out a win. I mean, Mike Glennon did a good job too. I mean, 20 of 35 for 235 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. I mean, this man stepped in and really played equally as good as Baker Mayfield did. And the running attack did almost as good as their running back did. Almost. James Robinson, 22 carries for 128 yards, 1 touchdown. Not bad. I mean, yes, it's not as good as Nick Chubb, but this is still good. So, passing attack, running attack, very similar between these two teams. It's just the Browns were a little bit deeper in the running game. Colin Johnson was the leading wide receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they were without DJ Chark, their best wide receiver, and they still put up all these. I mean, this is great. Mike Glennon may be the answer here in Jacksonville. Who knows? But Colin Johnson, 4 receptions, 96 yards and a touchdown. Second leading wide receiver, Keelan Cole, for 3 receptions, 44 yards. Let's see how kind of close this game got here. Let's look at the drive chart. Jags actually take the lead 13-10 midway second quarter. Browns get the lead back with the touchdown 17-13. That's what the game, that's what the score was at halftime, 17-13 for the Browns. And we see the Jacksonville Jaguars had a chance to tie up the game going into, to take the lead. No, take a 1-point deficit going into halftime with a long 54-yard field goal, but it goes right. Unfortunate. 54 yards, it is tough, but that really should be kind of automatic. Anything 55 in should be automatic. I mean, look at Jason Sanders for the Dolphins and Hung Wei Koo for the Atlanta Falcons. Absolutely fantastic kicker from 50+. You got to do that. You have to hit 50+ yards consistently. At least 55 inwards. It really should be consistent every single time. That's really where you have to be, where the field goal kicker. So unfortunately, Rosas couldn't hit it, make it a 1-point game going into halftime. And then they get look at here. Who fumbles here? Baker Mayfield pass to Bryant, and then he fumbles the ball. Look at that. First drive of the second half for the Browns, and they fumble the ball, and the Jags go and score a touchdown off of that. You love to see that. Look at that. Oh, my goodness. Great starting field position. Mike Glennon does what he does. Let's see this drive. 3-yard run, 2-yard run, 4-yard run, 14-yard pass. Fantastic. 5-yard run, and then just a short 2-yard pass to their tight end, Tyler Eifert, for the touchdown. So love to see that by Mike Glennon. Takes advantage of the turnover with the touchdown, and then they actually take the lead 19-17. They missed the extra point. Oh my God, absolutely killer. Oh, they go for a 2-point conversion, and it gets incomplete, so unfortunate as well. Let's look at this play, actually. Let's see what this Mike Glennon passed to Kenyon Cole. So they trusted Mike Glennon on the 2-point conversion. That's fantastic. So the Jacks actually like this man. They're trusting him on 2-point conversions. He's picking up the first downs and more on the passing attempts, coming off of short field position, off a turnover. So, I mean, this man was actually doing very well this game. So let's cue up this play, see the 2-point conversion fail. Unfortunate for them. Close game, and, that 2-point conversion, they lost by 2. They missed that field goal. I mean, they had opportunities to actually go and win the game. That's actually kind of crazy. Are we signed in here? Here we go. All right, let's get this play queued up. Third quarter, the missed extra point, or the failed 2-point conversion, I should say. Alrighty, let's see where this is at. Here we go. 2-point conversion attempt here. Do they get it from the 1? I don't know. I don't know if I like the 2-point conversion here. I would just take the extra point, go up by 3. I don't really get the point for the 2-point conversion here. But that doesn't matter. Game's over. Here we go. Mike Glennon from the 2-yard line. He lines up under center. Maybe fake a little run. No, he just takes the one-on-one matchup. That's not bad. He just takes the one-on-one matchup, knows he's got one-on-one with, who's that? Kenyon Cole Sr., and he goes and just floats the 50-50 ball, the floater. Let's watch it again. We're not even going to get a replay of it. How unfortunate. Let's see if this ball was well thrown. How was it thrown? Let's see. Back shoulder, a little bit too short, a little too short in front of him. Not the best pass. I mean, we see Tua make this pass literally every week when he plays. That's how he scores the touchdowns, back shoulder fades to the end zone. So maybe Mike Glennon should learn from Tua. But overall, not a bad attempt. I like that attempt. I love one-on-one matchups. I usually take them all the time when I play Madden. I love that when I got a one-on-one matchup and I got a tall receiver and I trust my receiver. I love that. I love just a quick one-step shoulder fade, back of the end zone, back shoulder. I love the one-on-one matchups to take. I mean, you can't get better than one-on-one coverage, folks. So take the matchup when you got it. Where are we? Where were we? Here we go, Jags, Browns. So, I mean, they had multiple opportunities to go and win the game, the Jags, or tie the game, but, I mean, that 2-point conversion goes and bites them right in the butt on their next drive because the Browns march down and score a field goal. Now they're up 20-19. Jaguars can't score any more points. Browns are piling on the points now. They score another touchdown. Now they're up 27-19. So now they're down now they're down a touchdown and the 2-point conversion. And then there it is. Look at them go down. With 2 minutes and 22 seconds left, they go down and score a touchdown, and now they need another 2-point conversion attempt, and this is another Mike Glennon pass. Let's see this 2-point conversion attempt. Is this one any better? This one's for the actual tie, so it actually ended up to be the wrong choice by Doug Monroe at the beginning there. They shouldn't have taken the 2-point conversion. They lose by 2. They score they just take the extra point there at the first one. They get the extra point here. It's tied up at 27. So, hindsight is always 20/20. I understand. But once again, Greg Monroe not being a good coach when everything else was fantastic. Doug Monroe gets in the way of the Jaguars winning. The man's got to go. He's got to be. The firing list needs to be Adam Gase, Anthony Lynn. Since Matt Patricia's already been gone, so Anthony Lynn Anthony Lynn is third. So it goes Adam Gase, Doug Monroe, Anthony Lynn. Those should be the next 3 coaches fired. Truthfully, folks. Truthfully. All right. So here it is. 2-point conversion. They just marched down, scored a touchdown on like a 10-play drive. Mike Glennon, 2-point attempt again. He lines up at shotgun with no back. Tries to buy some time. Man, oh man, nothing open here. Oh, he had it. He had it wide open. He was just looking at the wrong side. I'll point out this wide receiver. He's going to drag across the back of this end zone here and try to get in the back right of the end zone. Mike Glennon starts looking right there, but as soon as the route becomes open, he shifts his eyes back to the left side of the field and doesn't see this wide receiver wide open. Look at this is the closest defender here, and he's not even looking at him anymore. This man's just going to continue to go all the way to the back of the end zone here towards the sideline. So that's unfortunate. Now Mike Glennon has the kind of maybe opportunity here to run the ball, run it in. At this moment, he needs to make the decision. Do I run the ball or not? Because this corner is following this receiver right here. He's got man coverage on him. This guy, he should be able to outrun this lineman right here. And now all you have to deal with is a foot race to the pylon of this linebacker right here. Can he outrun him? I don't know, man. It would have been tight, but he decides not to. 42 is coming quick. Damn, he closed in quick. And then Mike Glennon, pressure is coming. He just has to give somebody an attempt here. He throws it back at the end zone. I like the attempt again. He didn't take the sack. He didn't throw it away. Gave somebody a chance to make a play. It is a hard play to make, but this is well coverage by the defense of the Browns and just a little bit of luck there of Mike Glennon turning his eyes literally at the last second when a route was opening up to be wide open. So unfortunate by Jacksonville. Cleveland holds on. Very well done by them. And we give them a little bit of credit. But, we can't trust Baker Mayfield too much. He got the win, and he didn't throw any turnovers. But some of the passes in this game were not great by him. So we may look at him in our Wednesday film study. Watch Baker, get more tabs on him because Browns are 8-3. They probably will make the playoffs. So we have to kind of take this Browns team seriously. They're a great run team. They're a very well-coached team. It is really just Baker Mayfield. He is kind of the wild card on this team. He needs to play as a game manager for the Browns to win. They almost lost to the Jags. Not great. Alrighty, let's move on. What's the next game up? Panthers and Vikings, and oh my goodness, Panthers almost, and Vikings come back. Absolutely crazy. So we'll start here with the stats. Matt Rule almost freaking came in and beat Minnesota. I think I'm liking Matt Rule, folks. This is a coach that should be on people's radar. This Carolina Panthers team should be very good next year. They're competitive. They're winning games, and they don't have Christian McCaffrey. They're just missing Christian McCaffrey. That's really it. Maybe tighten up their defense just a little bit more. That's really all they're missing, folks. They're very, very close. So we'll start here with the Panthers. Teddy Bridgewater, 19 of 36, 267 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Let's see where this pick came from. First quarter, and the defense forces the Vikings to punt, so they couldn't cash in on the interception. So a little bit of a bailout there by the Panthers. So decent there by Teddy Bridgewater. The running game, Mike Davis, he's always been very solid with taking in the role for Christian McCaffrey. 15 carries, 55 yards, nothing great, nothing bad, just kind of average, and that's something that you want to have your second string players be, just kind of average game managers, not having too much of a step taken back since the starters are out. So Mike Davis, I think he's doing a very good job here in Carolina as the backup. Teddy Bridgewater is still throwing to his wide receivers, making Robbie Anderson and, DJ Moore and Curtis Samuel all look like A1, Tier 1 wide receivers. Robbie Anderson, leading wide receiver for the Panthers, four receptions, 94 yards and a touchdown. Curtis Samuel, 5 receptions for 72 yards and no touchdowns. And DJ Moore, 4 receptions, 61 yards, no touchdowns. So, those were the top 3 leading wide receivers for the Panthers, actual wide receivers. Love seeing Teddy Bridgewater be confident, throwing to his actual weapons and just slinging the ball. Love to see it. All right, let's go to the Vikings now. They had a lot of, this Panthers team defensively, they had back-to-back fumble sixes by the same player. Wild, right? So Kirk Cousins, 34 of 45, 307 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. The man did not throw any interceptions. He did fumble once, though, and he lost it. And Dalvin Cook fumbled once, and they lost it. And Chad Beebe lost 1 fumble as well. So they had 3 fumbles, all lost by the Vikings. Not good. Kirk Cousins didn't throw any interceptions, which is kind of surprising, especially with him throwing the ball 45 times. They kind of got away from the running game a little bit. 18 carries for only 61 yards by Dalvin Cook. And this is a little promising by the Vikings. They come out with a win. They fumble and give up 2 touchdowns as well, 14 points on just defensive turnovers. So this is a pretty good win for the Vikings. The run game wasn't as good as it has been the last 4 weeks. Kirk Cousins needed to go out and throw the ball 45 times to overcome the 2 defensive scores by Carolina, and they do that. They win by 1 point. Kirk Cousins doesn't throw any interceptions, throws it 45 times, 3 touchdowns. So that's a little promising by the Vikings, because the Vikings have been very, very shaky this year, which has really been surprising since what they did last year. Very good wins. I think Kirk Cousins threw for 5,000 yards last season, which is wild. Not a lot of quarterbacks do that. Barely any quarterbacks do that, I should say. And they got to the playoffs last year, and now this year they're 5-6. Really struggled early. They get, I think, like 0-4, maybe 1-4, but they were very, very not good until after the bye, when they just trusted Dalvin Cook a little bit more than Kirk Cousins. So Kirk Cousins had a pretty good game here. Let's look at kind of this controversial game. This one kind of looked like, back and forth. Going into halftime, the Vikings were up 10-7. And then after halftime is when all these fumbles started. Folks, look at this. The Vikings' first drive after halftime, they get 3 plays in, and then they fumble 6. Now the Panthers are up 14-10. Now the very next play, after the kickoff, Vikings get the ball back. They fumble 6 again. And we have to give this man some credit here. Jay Chin. Let me find out his real first name instead of just calling him Jay. Let's see. Where is he at here? Where is he at? Defense, Jay Chin. Come on, Chin, where you at? Can we not find Jay Chin? Where the heck is this man at? All right, we may just have to call him Jay Chin now. Unfortunate. I cannot find him on here. Yeah, what the heck is that? All right, whatever. We'll just call him Jay Chin. Whatever. We'll correct his name maybe tomorrow or something, but. Chin, he's the one that actually picked up and scored on both of these fumble 6s. Just kind of real crazy. Just absolutely wild to have 2 fumble 6s by the same player on literally back-to-back plays. Just absolutely crazy. So now after all of that, now the Panthers are up 21-10. Panthers, they get a blocked field goal. Vikings, they go and score a field goal, making the score 21-13. Panthers go down and score another field goal. Just look at this. This is what I'm talking about, folks, of this Panthers team just being good offensively. After the two punts for touchdown, or 2 fumbles for touchdowns, Panthers are up 21-10. Their next offensive drive is an 11-play, 63-yard, 6-minute, 20-second drive that ended in a blocked field goal. This is what I'm talking about. They pick up the 3rd downs. They get the long drives. It unfortunately had to settle for a field goal, and it was blocked, unfortunately. But this is what they do. And then on their next drive, a 9-play, 58-yard, 3-minute drive that ends in a field goal. They get long drives. This is what I like about the Panthers. Even without Christian McCaffrey and Teddy Bridgewater working with kind of, maybe tier 2 wide receivers. I don't know if any one of these wide receivers is a true number 1 on a squad, but they're definitely making their case this year, absolutely. But going into this year, I don't think any one of these wide receivers for Carolina was a tier 1 wide receiver. And they're just doing absolutely fantastic work here. Look at this punt. This punting drive was 7 plays, 24 yards, 3 minutes as well. So they eat up the clock, and they do go on long drives. This field goal drive was only because they muffed the punt. It was just quick, but just wild here at the ending of the game. So let's go into the fourth quarter. We left off here. Panthers put up another field goal. They go up 24-13, and then the Vikings come down on a long drive of their own, 11 plays, 75 yards, 6-minute drive that ends in a touchdown, and they make the score 24-21. And now the Panthers, they go. Once again, the Vikings muff a punt, and that ends in a field goal, quick field goal for the Panthers to go up 27-21. And then with only a minute and 51 seconds left, Kirk Cousins drives his team down in 1 minute, 75 yards. They go and score a touchdown, make the game 28-27. But the Panthers have one more opportunity. They're left with 43 seconds, and that's all Teddy Bridgewater needs. I mean, look at this huge pass to start off this drive. A big 35-yard pass from their own about 13-yard line. Teddy Bridgewater drops back to pass, and absolutely magnificent. This almost looked like this Aaron Rodgers pass from last week in the fourth quarter when they were down and he was in his own end zone and just bombed it 40 yards to midfield. This is almost the same pass that Teddy Bridgewater makes, just kind of right in that soft zone that was triple coverage. I mean, folks, there gets no better pass than this. Look how accurate you have to be on this pass. Look at where these defenders are. You have two over the top and then one chasing from behind. This is a tight throw to make. Not a lot of error on here, and he makes it beautifully, and it gets him out right basically until midfield. So that's a huge pass. Now there's only 34 seconds left, and this is what I'm talking about. This Carolina offense is pretty good, folks. They were this close of winning the game. They get down to the Minnesota's 36-yard line. They have to settle for a 54-yard field goal, and it misses. Oh my goodness. Is this the second missed kick that we're talking about in a row? Jacksonville just had one too. Oh, they had a 2-point conversion, but just quickly here, man. Oh my goodness. Was it the Bengals? Who just had the missed field goal? I don't know. But anyway. Just Panthers barely lose this game. This is like the third game where they attempt like a game-winning field goal that's very far and they just don't get it. I mean, this Panthers team is better than their 4-8 record, folks. Truly. Yeah, so Vikings squeak out a win here. They go to 5-6. Panthers are 4-8. We don't change our mind on the Panthers at all. This is the team that I kind of expect to play very good offense. Defense is pretty decent too. I mean, when you have 2 straight fumble sixes, I mean, that's good defense. I don't care what anybody says. So I like this Panthers team moving forward, folks. Not too big on this Vikings team. They still, I don't know, still there's something off about them, whether it be their defense or just a lot of turnovers, not being clutch. I think that's what it is. It just, they turn the ball over at the worst time possible, and it goes by everybody. It's not just Kirk Cousins, it is Dalvin Cook when he's not rushing for 200 yards. So it is unfortunate, but don't buy this Vikings team with this win, and I kind of buy this Carolina team a little bit more, even though they lost. I'm a big fan of this Panthers team, truly. All right, let's move on. Here we go. Cardinals and Patriots. Yeah, very close game. I mean, Bill Belichick's defense, what more do you expect? Holding the Cardinals to only 17 points. Holding to DeAndre Hopkins to look at this, folks. DeAndre Hopkins, 5 receptions for only 55 yards, no touchdowns, and he was the leading wide receiver. So, I mean, they just could not do anything really offensively. That's what you would expect from a Bill Belichick defense locking down the Arizona Cardinals. So, very well done. I think Bill Belichick learned a lot from what Deshaun Watson did to the Patriots last week. He's like, okay, hang on. We just faced a dual-threat quarterback. I know how to stop it now. It's fresh in my mind, a week removed, and he incorporated that. So, I mean, Kyler Murray, look at this, folks. 23 of 34 for only 170 yards, no touchdowns, and a pick. Let's see where this pick came from Kyler Murray. It came in the third quarter, and what did the Patriots do? They cash in with a touchdown. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic. They get great field position, and Bill Belichick with great field position, that's pretty much guaranteed a touchdown. So Patriots go down and score a touchdown off of that interception. Not good by Kyler Murray. Let's see if we can watch this interception. Was it bad? We might have to save it for Wednesday. Unfortunate. All right. Let's continue on with these Cardinal stats. The running game was decently effective here. Kenyon Drake, 22 carries for 78 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, the running game was on par. That's what you want. And then Kyler Murray, I mean, they kept this man under lock, only 170 passing yards and 31 rushing yards on 5 attempts. So they didn't let Kyler Murray just gouge them for all the yards himself, made him pass the ball, but then also clamped up the receiver so he couldn't pass the ball. This was some good defense by the Patriots, folks, truly. Larry Fitzgerald was out for the Cardinals, and I really don't think that mattered too much. I don't think if they had Larry Fitzgerald that the outcome of this game changes. I truly don't think that because they locked up DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins needs to be their kind of leading receiver if they want to have a chance to win the game. This is kind of what we've seen from their stat lines on their wins and losses, so not the best. Let's go to the Patriots now, and Cam Newton didn't do anything. Once again, it's not this Patriots offense, it's the Patriots defense that wins them the game. Look at this, Cam Newton, 9 of 18. They only threw the ball 18 times, folks. They threw the ball 18 times, and they still win. That's what the Patriots do. They shut you down defensively, and they find ways to win. I mean, they didn't even have a lot of plays offensively. Cam Newton throws it 18 times for 84 yards. I can't even get through the stat line without laughing, folks, because it's just so trash. You would not expect this team to win. If you read me the stat line, they lost. If you read me what I'm about to read on the rushing stat line, you'd be like, this team lost. If I told you their receivers, once again, you'd say they lost, but they win because of their defense. So let's try and get through the stat line without laughing. Here we go. Cam Newton, 9 of 18 for 84 yards, no touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Not 1 interception, 2 interceptions. Let's see where they came. Oh, the first drive, the third play of the game. Cam Newton throws an interception, and the Cardinals get out to a good start, 7-0. They take advantage, march down for the field goal because they only had to go 23 yards. This was a game about field positioning, folks. That's all this game came down to, field position. Who, in the end, had the better most field possession attempts? And it comes out to the Patriots here. So they only had to go 23 yards. That was Cam Newton's first interception. His second interception came in the fourth quarter. I'll tell y'all right now, the 2 quarters you do not want to throw an interception are first quarters because it ruins all your momentum, and the fourth quarter because the game's probably close and you just threw away the game. Those are the 2 quarters you do not want to throw an interception, and this man just hit the bifecta of it. He hit them both, first quarter and fourth quarter. Luckily for Cam Newton, the interception that in the fourth quarter the Cardinals could not score on. So unfortunately, they do miss a field goal. This would have been pretty much the go-ahead field goal, possibly the game-winning field goal. The Patriots do take the minute and 52 seconds that is remaining after the missed field goal and go down and score a field goal of their own to actually win the game. But this would have been, a kick that put more pressure on Cam Newton. Maybe he flounders. I mean, we've seen Cam Newton on potential game-winning drives this season against Seattle, stopped at the 1-yard line, and against the Bills, where he fumbles the ball marching into the red zone of Buffalo Bills territory. So, I mean, the Cardinals are up 20-17 in this game with Cam Newton on the line. He probably makes another mistake. We wouldn't put it past him. So I do think that this missed field goal by the Cardinals here, which is an easy makeable field goal. It's a 45-yarder. Anything 50 inwards should be automatic, folks. It should be automatic. 50 to 55, I may give you like 1 pass a year. I'll let you miss 1. But anything from 50 inwards needs to be automatic. This was 45. This is unacceptable to miss, especially on the road, especially to give your team a 3-point lead. Not good. So that's Cam Newton's stats. 9 of 18, 84 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks. And let me read you the rushing attack. Damian Harris, 14 carries for only 47 yards. Cam Newton ran 9 times for 46 yards, so his legs did decent. But yeah, I mean, the leading actual rusher only had 47 yards. The second actual running back here had 5 carries for 18 yards. He had 2 touchdowns because they just ran them, when they got down to the goal line, because they don't trust Cam Newton to throw the ball. They just trust their runners. That's what they did. Now let's look at these receivers. Only 4 different... No. 4 different receivers had actual targets. Only 3 different people on this Patriots team actually caught balls. Leading wide receiver for the Patriots was Jacoby Myers, 5 receptions for only 52 yards. Second leading receiver, Damiere Byrd for 3 receptions for 33 yards. N'Keal Harry had 0 receptions, but he did have 3 targets, couldn't catch anything. And then you have James White, the running back, for 1 catch and -1 yard. So they only had really 2 different people touch the ball down the field by Cam Newton delivering the ball to them. I mean, folks, I do not know how this Patriots team won. It was just their defense. You can never count out Bill Belichick. Can we stop with, Bill Belichick or Tom Brady deserves more credit than Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick deserves more credit than Tom Brady. It's Bill Belichick. That's what it is. It's Bill Belichick. It's always been Bill Belichick. We see what Tom Brady's doing with all the weapons in the world. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They can't put up points. They can't win games. Bill Belichick with absolutely 0 offense. This offense is just truly atrocious. I wanted to buy Cam Newton, and I'm 100% sold off this man. I'll tell you. Not good. Not good. Damn, Bill Belichick. This man's a monster. A master. He's a master monster, folks. 84 yards by Cam Newton. Damian Harris, 47 yards, and they win the game. They win the game, and they put up 20 points, which is pretty impressive. I mean, we saw what the Bears do. The Bears, I mean, Nick Foles had some 250-yard games and gets nowhere close to 20 points. So I don't know what it is. This Patriots team, they win the game. They win the game. Patriots win. The defense wins. That's all there is to it. Patriots go to 5-6, and Cardinals are falling to 6-5. We may have to bail on this Cardinals team. I don't know, man. They're not as consistent as I would like them to be. They have had a tough schedule. I will give them that. But I don't know. They just need to shore up their consistency a little bit. And I also think they need to find other ways to score the ball besides just going to DeAndre Hopkins. They do kind of need to find somebody else to fill that scoring void. All right, let's move on here. All right, our next matchup is Dolphins and Bills, and can we stop with the Ryan Fitzpatrick, folks? Can we stop? Can we stop? His second time facing the Jets, and once again, he only puts up 20 points. He put up 24 points the last time. It's Ryan Fitzpatrick against the worst defense in the league, against the worst team in the league. Folks. Let me just say this right off the rip because this is truly hilarious. This is probably the funniest thing, for the funniest stat you can hear of Week 12. The Jets here. They just got their starting quarterback back. Sam Darnold was back in the game, finally, right? Their receivers were pretty much all healthy. Jamison Crowder, Mims, Brashard Perryman, that's their guys. Those are their receivers, right? So, quarterback back, their franchise quarterback. Sam Darnold is their franchise quarterback, at least so far, up until this point. And the Jets are at home, and they put up 3 points, right? They put up 3 points with their starting quarterback back in the lineup. Now let's take a little peek at Denver. Remember, Denver had no quarterbacks playing. They had a wide receiver play quarterback. They put up 3 points. The Broncos, who had no quarterback, absolutely no quarterback, they had to bring in a wide receiver to play quarterback. They put up the same amount of points that the Jets did, that Sam Darnold did, that Sam Darnold's first game back, the Broncos tied the same score as the Jets. That's atrocious. Adam Gase has to go. Sam Darnold's not a good quarterback. Adam Gase is not a good play caller, not a good coach. He can't do anything. He's no quarterback guru. Whoever said that on ESPN when he was auditioning or interviewing for the Dolphins job, that he was this quarterback guru. He played with Peyton Manning, or he coached Peyton Manning, and he coached all these great quarterbacks. It wasn't because it was Adam Gase. It was just those quarterbacks were great quarterbacks. Can we stop it? Oh my goodness, I'm going insane. Folks, this Jets team is so trash. So trash. The only thing we could really take away here is the Dolphins defense. I mean, Ryan Fitzpatrick did not play good, folks. He played okay for facing a Jets team. He went 24 of 39 for 257 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. I mean, and you only put up 20 points against his Jets team? I mean, I think Tua could have done the same things this week. So can we stop with the Ryan Fitzpatrick? Can we stop it that he should be starting and should be playing? It's against the Jets, and he didn't turn the ball over, thankfully, this time. I think he had 2 interceptions last time they faced the Jets, at least 1. He may have had 2. All right, that's Ryan Fitzpatrick. He did go to Devontae Parker, which I absolutely love, because this man is our number 1 wide receiver. So I love him giving, Devontae Parker the target. So 18 targets for Devontae Parker, our leading receiver, 8 receptions for 119 yards. Mike Gesicki, he's a fantastic tight end as well. 2 receptions for 35 yards and a touchdown. But everybody else, I mean, he was spreading the ball around. I mean, look at just all these receivers we got the ball to. Devontae Parker, Mike Gesicki, Matt Collins. Durham Smith, Matt Breida, Jakeem Grant, DeAndre Washington, Malcolm Perry, Adam Shaheen, Antonio Callaway, Lynn Bowden. I mean, folks, he was getting the ball to literally anybody that was on the Dolphins was like, do you want to pass? Do you want to pass? Because I'm giving out passes. As we just saw, the Patriots just had 2 players touch the ball. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We had 12 people touch the ball. 12 receivers touched the ball for the Dolphins. The Patriots had 2, folks. 2. All right. What else do we need to talk about? I don't want to talk about the. We'll talk about the Dolphins defense. Let's do that. So the Jets, their only points came on their first drive of the game, and then they couldn't do anything for the rest of the game. Their first drive goes 9 plays, 65 yards, and 3 points. That's what they do. Their next drive, 5 plays, 14 yards, punt. Their third drive, 4 plays, 25 yards, punt. Their fifth drive, 3 and out. Their fourth drive, a third. Oh my! I'm gonna tell you all right now. On Wednesday, we are going to look at a 2-minute drive by the Jets, because it is the worst, most uncoached 2-minute drive I've ever seen in my entire life. The Jets were down 13-3, and the way that they were playing this kind of 2-minute, offense right before, after the 2-minute warning, right before halftime when you have the ball, that's the 2-minute offense. That 2-minute offense, you would think that the Jets were up 27-0. The way that they ran it was so uninspiring, so stupid play calling, so lazy, so no urgency the entire time. You would literally think that they would be up 28 points instead of down 10. They can't just settle for field goals, folks, and that's what they were looking like. They were like, we're just going to settle for the field goal. Yeah, we have time to score a touchdown, but we're good enough scoring offensively that we don't need a touchdown at any given moment. We can score a touchdown whenever we want, so let's just get a field goal on this drive. It was the worst thing I've ever seen. So we are going to look at that on Wednesday. So we're not going to break it down too much, but they go on a 13-play, 82-yard drive that does result in a missed field goal from like 35 yards. It's pathetic. All right, so now they're drives after halftime. 5 plays, interception by Sam Darnold. Can we watch it? We are going to watch it. No, we're not actually going to watch it. We'll watch it on Wednesday maybe. This is just a breakdown. We get into a film review on Wednesdays. So 5 plays, interception, 4 plays, 19 yards, punt, 3 plays, 3 and out, punt. And the Dolphins are fumbling, and they still can't do anything. The Dolphins fumble on back-to-back drives. Let's see who fumbled the ball. Who's fumbling? We have one by Matt Breida and one by Patrick Laird. Not great by our running backs. Hold on to the ball, please. I guess we could give Fitzpatrick a little bit of a break because he wasn't the one fumbling the ball, and we were still kind of driving a little bit. But I still don't like Ryan Fitzpatrick, and I still want Tua playing because I don't think that Ryan Fitzpatrick is doing anything that Tua can't do as well. He does need to sling the ball a little bit more fearlessly than Ryan Fitzpatrick, but not as fearless as Ryan Fitzpatrick because he does throw the picks at the worst time. So after all these fumbles, the Jets still can't move the ball. The first fumble, they go 3 and out. The second fumble, they go 4 plays, 8 yards, and turn the ball over on downs because they're getting desperate. And then after the turnover on downs, they go 3 and out. And then after the 3 and out, they throw another interception just for good measure, and then the game's over at that point. So they can't move the ball at all. Sam Darnold, 16 of 27 for 197 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks. And remember the quote, folks. I said it on last week's show that Adam Gase said this was his time, that this was what could have been. This is what Adam Gase wanted the entire season. He wanted Sam Darnold healthy, his receivers healthy, and this was supposed to be the offense, the big bad offense that we're all supposed to be afraid of. This was supposed to be the team that Adam Gase wanted since the start of the season before everything went haywire with all the injuries and inactives. This is what he wanted, and he goes 3 points. This is what we all should be afraid of the Jets, folks. Adam Gase needs to be fired now, right this minute. 1:12 p.m., 11:30, whatever today's date is. I don't know the month. I don't know. It's 11. Whatever's the 11th month. I don't know. All right, let's move on. Saints, Broncos. Broncos had no quarterback, still put up the same amount of points as the Jets did. So comical, so comical. At least Sam Darnold had more yards. I mean, look at this. Kendall Hinton, the starting wide receiver turned quarterback for the Broncos, 1 of 9 for 13 yards and 2 picks. I mean, we can't bash this man. We can't even bash the Broncos. Let's just look at Taysom Hill. He didn't have a good game. 9 of 16 for 78 yards, no touchdowns, 1 pick. That wasn't good. They were lucky they had Latavius Murray because that man ran all over them. 19 carries for Latavius Murray, 124 yards, 2 touchdowns. Alvin Kamara had 11 carries for 54 yards, and Taysom Hill ran the ball 10 times for 44 yards. So the Broncos, once again, could not stop the rush. Latavius Murray went all wild on him. Taysom Hill went all wild on him. And now, we saw everything was really great in Taysom Hill's first start at home, and now he had to go to Denver, and he didn't perform well passing the ball. Yes, he's good running the ball, but we know that. We want to see the passing, and he only went 9 of 16. So we may have to kind of look at him on Wednesday in our film study as well. Do we still buy Taysom Hill, or should Jameis Winston really come in and be the starting quarterback? I don't know. Unfortunately, we don't get too much of offensive competition for the Broncos. The Saints do put up 31 points, which is still impressive, but we don't know how the Broncos would have really played if they had a starting quarterback. So not going to spend too much time on that game. We will look at Taysom Hill on Wednesday, though. Alrighty, here we go. 49ers and Rams. And, folks, this is what I say every week about the Rams. Their offense is just so shaky. And even when they're good, they still only put up like 20 to 24 points. Actually, I should say 17 to 24. They always don't put up 20 points, which isn't good. They do it here, but they still lose the game. Not great. So, we'll start here with the Rams offense. Jared Goff, 19 of 31. Not good at all. 198 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks. This is the Rams offense we know, folks, and we are going to have to kind of fall out of love with the Rams a little bit here. What do we have them going into this week in our power rankings? We had them at 4. Oh, my goodness. We have to drop them a ton, folks. We just cannot buy this offense any longer. Last week, they did great against the Bucs, but man, oh, man. This is the true Rams offense here. This is the true Rams offense. It's not always good. Let's look at Jared Goff's interception. The first one came in the first quarter. Luckily, they got bailed out because the 49ers fumbled on the next play. Jared Goff's second interception came in, where is it? Start of the third quarter, and he throws a pick 6. Oh, my goodness. Throw a pick 6. How unfortunate. So they throw the pick 6. Their running game, Cam Akers, 9 carries for 84 yards and a touchdown. Very good. Darrell Henderson kind of, wants to be their feature running back. Only 10 carries for 19 yards. No touchdowns. Not good. Robert Woods, he had 150 yards receiving last week. 7 receptions for only 80 this week. Cooper Kupp, he had 150 yards receiving last week. 2 receptions for only 41 yards. Not the best. So this Rams offense is spotty. Yes, their defense is good, but they still let the 49ers put up 43 points or 23 points. And I get it wasn't all the defense. We just said that Jared Goff threw the pick 6. So yes, I understand. But let's look at Nick Mullins. 24 of 35 for 252 yards, no touchdowns, and he did throw a pick. Let's look at this one. But the Rams offense only cashed in on a field goal. Unfortunate. They didn't get great starting field position. They got it on their own 29-yard line, but that's still a takeaway that it's still momentum, and to only cash in with the field goal, the 49ers are like, hang on, we actually kind of won that. Oh, we only gave up a field goal on that? All right, and then what do? The next drive, they go down and score a touchdown, 5 plays, 75 yards. So, the interception did not derail them because the Rams didn't really make them pay by going on a touchdown drive. They had to settle for a field goal. So that was kind of a win in the 49ers playbook, getting a nice momentum, started the game first quarter. Folks, all this matters. The game changes literally every single second of the game. Momentum can shift that quickly. So Nick Mullins had a pretty good game besides the interception, just being kind of the game manager that he knows he has to be while Jimmy Garoppolo gets healthy. They tried running back by committee, and it worked okay. Nothing great, just kind of average here. Raheem Mostert, 16 carries, 43 yards and a touchdown. Jeff Wilson, 12 carries for 43 yards. So, combined for 86 yards between 2 running backs. Just kind of, just not even at the 100-yard mark just quite yet. And then the receivers, Deebo Samuel. Oh, my goodness. They cannot stop this man. 11 receptions for 133 yards. Their second leading receiver was Kendrick Bourne with 3 receptions for 34 yards. So, they were just going to Deebo Samuel, and the Rams defense really could not stop him. Unfortunate. What else to talk about in this game? Let's see it in the fourth quarter. Tied 20-20. And then the Rams go on a 5-play, 19-yard drive. They have a chance, but they have to punt. And then they leave the 49ers with 2 minutes left, and they go down. 11 plays, 51 yards, 2 minutes, 10 seconds, ate up the entire time, and then kicked a game-winning, kind of shorter field goal. 42-yarder. This one's guaranteed. Well done. Finally, a kicker that can make a reasonable field goal. So well done, Robbie Gould. Well done to you. Game-winning field goals. You love to see it. So Rams defense lets the 49ers, or Rams offense, I should say, lets the 49ers kind of hang around a little bit. The Rams only put up 20 points, and the 49ers are like, we could put up 21. We could do that. Absolutely. And that's exactly what they did. They put up 23. So, this Rams team, man, there's something about it. It's just the offense. It's not that great. Their defense is still pretty good. They did give up a pick six, so only the defense really only allowed, 16 points. But then they gave up, the big one. They gave up the game-winning field goal drive. Not great. So I don't know what to make of this Rams team. I can't trust their offense. That's the main takeaway from this game. We can no longer trust this Rams offense, even with their great explosive performance against the Bucs. It seems like everybody's doing good against the Bucs. So I don't know, man. The Rams defense is good, but the offense is very, very inconsistent and kind of lackluster. Alrighty, 2 more games to go through the last 2 games. All right, here we go. Chiefs and Bucs, and oh my goodness, this game looked to be over in the first quarter. I mean, let's just look at these first quarter drives. Chiefs go on an 8-play, 64-yard drive to start it up, and they score a field goal. Tom Brady goes 5 plays, 21 yards, has to punt. Then Chiefs and Bucs both go 3-and-out on their next drives and have to punt. And then the Chiefs open it up with a touchdown, 1-play, 75-yard hitter to who else but Tyreek Hill, baby. This man is the I mean, you can make the argument him or DK Metcalf as the 2 best receivers in the league. And let's just look at this, folks. The sheer speed, and Patrick Mahomes has all the arm to get it to him. I mean, this is absolutely incredible. I mean, he throws this one from the 20. From the 20 all the way down to the 20, about 21. So, folks, that's, what are we talking about, like 60 yards? Oh, my goodness, 55, 60 yards in the air, a monster arm by Patrick Mahomes, but we all know that. So they go explosive. And then they're like, hang on, let's get one more touchdown before this quarter ends. And then they go on a 7-play, 75-yard drive for the touchdown while, Tom Brady's just going 3-and-out and can't do anything. So Chiefs go up 17-0 in the first quarter. Bucs start to, come back a little bit. They score 1 touchdown because they got a fumble by the Chiefs, so not great. Chiefs were going on a drive, then they fumble. And then the Bucs go and score. But it's still 20-7 at halftime. Tom Brady didn't look that great either. Took until the fourth quarter to really start getting going, but then he still threw 2 interceptions as well. So let's look at Tom Brady real quick. 27-41, 345 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. Most of these coming in the fourth quarter because they had to just really start slinging the ball around. So let's see where these interceptions came from by Tom Brady. First one comes in the third quarter. Luckily, they kind of get bailed out by a punt, a 3-and-out by the Chiefs. And then he throws his next interception literally on the next drive. And the Chiefs once again go 3-and-out. So just kind of bailed out. Tom Brady gets bailed out on those interceptions. Wow. Gets bailed out. Absolutely. So luckily for Tom Brady, gives up no points on those interceptions. The running game for the Bucs was all right. Ronald Jones, 9 carries for 66 yards. But once you start getting down 17-0, 20-7, you kind of have to abandon the run game a little bit. All right, Rob Gronkowski was the leading wide receiver for the Bucs, and why does that not surprise us? 6 receptions for 106 yards. Chris Godwin, second leading wide receiver, 97 yards. Then it drops off heavy. Mike Evans, 3 receptions, 50 yards. He did have 2 touchdowns, so I'll give him a little bit of credit. And then Ronald Jones, 1 reception for 37 yards. Cameron Brate, 4 receptions, 34 yards. Antonio Brown, 2 receptions for 11 yards. That's how you use Antonio Brown. Okay. I don't know what y'all want, but Tom Brady, I don't know. They just don't win. They have all the talent, and they don't win. Patrick Mahomes, he absolutely slung this ball, folks. 37-49 for 462 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Yes, sir. Love to see it. They didn't have to run the ball a lot. Hang on, let's get back here. Accidentally clicked off the game. Let's get back to the stats, and here we go. All right, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 11 carries for 37 yards. Nothing great, but they didn't need him to be great because Patrick Mahomes was great and better. He was better than great. Tyreek Hill, I mean, folks. Can we talk about monster games for a second? Tyreek Hill, 13 receptions for 269 yards and 3 touchdowns. This man could not be stopped. He's so fast, and he's not just one of these receivers that just catch the slant passes and then run for 70 yards. This man goes one-on-one, gets the ball, goes up, and actually grabs the ball. This is why, in my opinion, he is top 2 wide receivers in the league, folks, even though he's fucking 5'10". It's wild. Travis Kelce, no surprise here that he's the second leading wide receiver with 82 yards. And then, it drops off heavily from there. So you go from 269 from Tyreek Hill to 82 to Travis Kelce, and then 38 for Sammy Watkins as their third leading receiver. But the Chiefs little struggled here in the second half to really kind of score points as well. I mean, they put up 20 in the first half, second in the third quarter, and then no points for literally the rest of the game. Let's get the time here. After 7 minutes left in the third quarter, there was no more points scored by the Chiefs. So they definitely have to figure that out a little bit. That's kind of what we've seen the Chiefs. They get hot for like one quarter, whether it be the first or the fourth. And then that's really all they do. But they do need to get a little bit more consistent here. Luckily for their defense, they were still, turning the ball over, not letting Tom Brady put up any points. We see the 2 interceptions here in the third quarter. And then they just go on these long drives that end in punts. I mean, how do you go 9 plays, 40 yards to that end in a punt? It ate up 6 minutes of the clock, so that's very well done. Good kind of game management by Andy Reid. He's like, we're not scoring any points, but we just need to eat up the clock. I mean, just look at their last 2 possessions here. Chiefs, 9 plays, 40 yards, eats up 6 minutes. And then their last drive, 8 plays, 33 yards, that eats up 4 minutes. So they ate up 10 out of the last 15 minutes in the fourth quarter, and that's exactly what they needed to do. Tom Brady couldn't, get in the groove. He wasn't good in the first quarter, wasn't good in the third quarter. I mean, then comes the fourth quarter, and it's already too late. So not the best. I mean, they're looking down 27-17, down 10 going into the fourth quarter, and they only touched the ball once. So you can't win if you're down 2 possessions and you touch the ball once. Can't win like that. Can't win like that. All right, and then we'll finish here with Bears and Green Bay. And, I mean, we kind of, talked about this one right at the top of the show, so we won't spend too much time on this one. But let's just look at the stats. Mitch Trubisky, 26 of 46 for 242 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. All of these really came in the second half, the yards, the touchdowns. Let's see where these picks came. First one came in the start of the second quarter. Can we watch this? Oh, yes, we can. Let's watch this pick. Here we go. They're down 13-3. They're driving. They're on the 38-yard line of Green Bay. Mitch Trubisky goes all the way deep, and it's double coverage, and it's not even close, and this is just an easy interception. Bad read. I understand, sometimes you want to just take a shot on a play. You want it thrown, whether it's open or not, but this one should not have been thrown at all. The second interception comes in the third quarter. I mean, the game is already over, so it really doesn't matter. Oh, and we can see this one too. Oh, we can see the second interception. So the first one was 100% his fault. Now they're down 27-10. They're in their own territory. Mitch Trubisky tries to go deep, and it's just underthrown. And, I mean, we see the arm strength of Mitch Trubisky come into the question here. Look how badly thrown this ball is. Throws it from, like, the 15-yard line. Just barely gets to the 50. And this one's wobbly, and it just really dies off quickly and just kind of falls right short. So, once again, not a good pass by Mitch Trubisky. I mean, we saw, Aaron Rodgers last week, the 45-yard bomb to midfield to really jumpstart their drive to tie the game at the end of regulation. Teddy Bridgewater, we just watched it again, a nice 40-yard pass to the middle of the field to jumpstart their potentially game-winning field goal drive. Mitch Trubisky cannot do that, folks. He does not have the arm. So, you got to move off of him. And then, I mean, they score touchdowns in the third quarter, late third quarter. fourth quarter. It doesn't matter. Those points don't mean anything to us, folks. The final score is really 41-10. That's the game. That's the game. Do not count these yards by Mitch Trubisky. Do not count the touchdowns. It makes no difference, folks. These are garbage time points. Now we look at Aaron Rodgers, just so efficient, 21 of 29 for only 211 yards and 4 touchdowns. Aaron Jones had a fantastic rushing game as well, and Jamal Williams. I mean, this Bears team could not stop anything. They couldn't stop the pass. They can't stop the run. Aaron Jones, 17 carries for 90 yards. Jamal Williams, 17 carries for 73 yards and a touchdown. And, Aaron Rodgers was slinging the ball around a little bit. I mean, 4 different receivers had a touchdown. Robert Tonyan, leading receiver, 67 yards and a touchdown. Devontae Adams, second leading receiver, 61 yards and a touchdown. Allen Lazard, fourth leading wide receiver, 23 touches. 23 yards, 1 touchdown, and Mercedes Lewis, 16 carries for 1 touchdown. So Aaron Rodgers was giving it to everybody. They were running the ball with both their running backs. Everything was good to go by the Packers. And they didn't get bored. They put up 41 points. They were scoring in every single quarter. They just did not care. They did not get bored. They did not get complacent. They kept the foot on the gas from start to finish, and that's what this Packers team needs to do. I mean, this Packers team is probably the only offense that I can see every single week putting up 40-plus points, because that's kind of what they need to do. If they take a drive off, if they go 3 and out, they're going to get just, down on themselves and then just try and sling it even more. So they just need to be consistent through the first quarter to the last quarter, put up 50 points if they need to. If that's how they have to win, to just keep themselves, interested in the game, I think that's what they have to do. So the Bears are officially trash. We are 100% off of Mitch Trubisky. We will never call him decent again. We will always call him trash. Nick Foles, he will always be trash, and that's just unfortunate, but that's how it's got to be. All right, so that's going to do it for us today. We'll be back tomorrow, noon Eastern, when we do our cash and trash list. We'll update that. We'll also update our power rankings. We'll also break down Monday Night Football and preview Tuesday Night Football, because we get Tuesday Night Football. Before we leave, let's give you our moneymaker for today's game. Almost forgot to do that. Let's update the lines. Let's see. It's still Seahawks -6. So I think it climbed down to 5.5, and I think it's going to settle here at Seahawks -6. And, with Jalen Hurts playing for the Eagles, I don't know. Do we take the points here? We're going to take the points, I think. I think Jalen Hurts has a fantastic game. I think he should be starting for the Eagles. I think they get rid of Carson Wentz. So we're going to go Seahawks on the road. Yes, they're good. I think they win, but I think 6 is a little too much. We're going to go Eagles here. Jalen Hurts has himself a good game, and he becomes a starter for the rest of the season for the Eagles as they make their division push for the win. I mean, if they win this game, I think they're back at first place. So we're going to take Eagles +6 today in our moneymaker. As I said, we'll be back tomorrow, noon Eastern, twitch.tv/takesbyfans, on Twitter, or on YouTube after, on Spotify after that. We have to, start the groundwork. That's why we just review everything on Mondays, just get a nice base work, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that's when we continue for the rest. So, all right.